Hey everyone, I'm Nidhi. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about anxiety. We've all felt that tightness in our chest, that knot in our stomach, that anxiety whispering in our ear, haven't we? It's like a pesky radio station that's stuck on a channel which is all filled with worry and what ifs. Now, anxiety isn't always a bad thing. It can be a helpful warning sign like, a smoke detector alerting you to a potential fire. But sometimes that smoke detector gets stuck on the beep, beep, beep mode, even when there's no real danger. That is when anxiety becomes overwhelming. Now, whilst we're talking about anxiety, let's clarify something. Anxiety and panic attacks are related, but they're not the same thing. Imagine anxiety as a roaring crowd in a stadium. It can make you feel overwhelmed, on the edge, and like you can't hear yourself think. But a panic attack is like a sudden stampede. It's intense, it's short-lived, and it can leave you feeling shaky and breathless. So how can anxiety lead to panic attacks? When that crowd of worry, it keeps cheering negativity, it can build up like a charged atmosphere. And just like a tense stadium can trigger a stampede, all that built up anxiety can trigger a sudden burst of intense fear, which is a panic attack. But here's the good news. There are powerful techniques you can use to quiet that crowd and prevent them from drowning you out. In this video, we're going to explore two methods to do that. The first method or the first technique is the 5-sense focus. When you feel anxiety rising and threatening to turn into a full-on panic attack, take a deep breath and focus on your 5 senses. What do you see right now? Maybe it's the calming blue of the sky, or a favorite picture on your desk, or that beautiful dress that you've brought to wear on a special occasion. What do you hear? Perhaps it's the gentle hum of the fridge, or calming music playing in the background, or your kids calling your name. Now, focus on what you feel. Feel your feet grounded on the floor, or the texture of your clothes against your skin. Next, what do you smell? Do you smell the scent of fresh air, or maybe your favorite coffee brewing, or the smell of your favorite perfume? And then finally, what can you taste? Perhaps a mint to freshen your breath, or a sip of cool water on a warm day, or a cup of warm soup on a cold winter day. You see, by actively engaging all your 5 senses of seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching, you are essentially forcing your brain to shift its focus away from the negative thoughts and towards the present moment. It's like hitting a pause button on the anxiety and taking a mental snapshot of your surroundings. This quick reset can interrupt the panic attack, and it can give you a moment to breathe and regain control. So here's a second technique of how you can beat anxiety very quickly, and it's called the thought avalanche. Well, that's a name I've given it anyway. You see, this technique is helpful if the 5 senses focus feels a bit overwhelming. Here, the focus is on acknowledging the anxious thoughts without actually getting caught up in them. What do I mean? Let me explain. So there are some steps to this. The first one is recognize the avalanche. This is realizing that anxiety is building up and it feels like a wave or an avalanche of negative thoughts. Number 2, step aside. So instead of trying to fight the thought or block them out completely, imagine yourself stepping to the side of the avalanche. You're not trying to stop it, but you're not in its direct path either. Number 3, label the thoughts. You see, as the anxious thoughts rush, just simply label them for what they are. Anxious thoughts, worry, fear. You see, this act of labeling, it helps separate yourself from the thought, and therefore it reduces the power of the thought. Number 4, focus on the breath. While acknowledging the thought, focus on your breath. Take slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Why? Because this helps your body's relaxation response and it counters the physical symptoms of anxiety. And number 5, wait for the avalanche to pass. Just like a real avalanche, the rush of anxious thoughts will eventually slow down and subside. Keep focusing on your breath and acknowledging the thoughts without any judgment. Remember, these techniques take practice. So don't expect to be an expert the first time you do them. Be patient and consistent and use them in those moments you feel anxious, or if you're struggling with overwhelming anxiety, panic attacks. Remember, you're not alone. And if it gets too much for you and you're struggling to handle it yourself, always remember to seek expert guidance and support. Well, I hope you found these techniques helpful. If you do happen to try them, if you do feel anxious or stressed, do let me know in the comments below if these techniques work for you. And if you've got anything else that you think really helps with anxiety, please also put that in the comment section below. Well, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care.